So today we are talking about 90 Day Fiance The Other Way, a show that Kingy and Lindsey have been watching since the beginning and excluded me from. I found out it existed from commercials and I was like, that looks like a blast. Log in, 3 seasons. So I started watching season 3 first, thinking like it's new people each season. It's not. There is this woman, Jenny. She's been on all 3 seasons of 90 Day Fiance.
Yeah.
Like,
isn't she with Summit or Summit?
She's with the Indian.
Summit,
She's
yeah.
an Indian guy. Yeah, she's with the Indian guy.
She is like,
Yeah, Jenny.
I don't want to say she's so old, but she is significantly older than him.
She is double his age. She is in her 60s and he is in his 30s. But originally, I was kind of against them. I was like, there's never gonna, it's not gonna work. They're both stupid. Like, there's no way.
Same.
But they've been together 8 years. And like, when you hear that they've been together 8 years, I'm kind of like, okay, maybe they do love each other. Cause like, I can't even stay in a relationship for one.
Last that long.
Yeah, like my longest relationship was 3 years, I think. So like, and they spend a lot of time together because she goes there all the time.
Yeah, it's India.
Isn't she living there right now?
No, she even stayed at the house. Like when they
were just friends.
Well, yeah, they lied to his parents.
Yeah, it's funny. It's a funny story though, because like I said, they thought they were friends, and like she was talking about she was sneaking in his room and shit, and the mom would like
if my son was like, this old lady's one of my friends, can she come stay with us? I'd be like, no.
Well, I mean, if Sagan came home and was like, hey, this old woman wants to come stay with us, you'd be like, dude, you're 5.
Yeah, but I mean, like, let's say in 20 years, and she was like 55, I'd be like, no, that's weird. Let's not do that.
I don't know. I'm kind of like, as long as, if he has money, then it's like a little sketch. But like, neither one of them are well off. So it's like maybe they actually do just genuinely love each other.
My favorite part about her was when she was planning to go to India and she thought she could still keep getting like her Social Security or whatever it is.
Bless her heart.
No, like if you're living over there, why would we still be sending you money? You don't live here. Like
something interesting about all of them is they've done no research.
I'm a citizen or something like that.
Yeah, like nobody has done any research as to like how much it costs to live in those countries. So like Jenny specifically was like, I have $7,000 in savings. How long can I live in India? And the financial planner is like 6 months. That's how long you can live there.
And that's if you're like living off ramen noodles and do nothing.
Yeah.
No. That's not like necessarily true. Because India is very cheap to live in. So like.
I don't care. $7,000.
But you get better food and ramen noodles, but yeah. But you definitely be living in like the Mumbai slums for 7,000.
I think they were living in like a bad area. Like he was like, "Don't leave this apartment for any reason." And he actually got mad at her.
Like that.
She went to an internet cafe. But you know what? She had good reason.
And that blew my mind that there's still places that have internet cafes. It's like that was like whenever I was in high school.
Yeah.
There's internet cafes in the UK.
That was just what all the weirdos that you talk to in chat rooms were in.
Yeah.
Let
me tell you something. I miss weirdos in chat rooms. The internet is too weird of a place.
Oh my God.
I no longer
miss chat rooms so bad.
Like, all I want to do is talk to random internet strangers, but like, I can't anymore. It's too scary.
Mm-hmm. I used to frequent on the Yahoo chat rooms. I'm sitting here with my mouth full. Or talking.
Oh yeah, what are you eating today?
I'm eating a ham and cheese sandwich with mustard. I have an apple, a plum, and some cheese cracker things.
Look at you.
So what is this? Is this Lindsey's mukbang?
Yeah, it's a full meal every week. We find out what Lindsey's eating.
It's always during my dinner time, so I'm always hungry, so I just eat on camera. But no, there used to be, the Yahoo chat rooms, and you just go into your Yahoo Messenger and you could just enter the chat room and talk on there.
My first boyfriend I met off of AIM. I had a guy that I went to high school with. We were chatting and he's like, hey, I have to go. I was like, hey, I'm still going to be on the internet for a while. Give me somebody else's screen name that you think I would hit it off with. And he did. He gave me his cousin's screen name. So I'm talking to his cousin and then same thing. He's like, oh, I have to go. And I was like, okay, give me somebody else's screen name. I got another screen name. I ended up dating that guy for a year.
That's crazy.
Like, it was not a good relationship or a healthy one, but it's a fun story of like finding love on the internet.
I would go into like atheist chat rooms or the non-religious chat rooms because then I was like, it was a secret that I wasn't religious, so I would get to talk to other people that weren't religious. And so it was like so neat to me because I'm like 18, 19 years old and I'm a pastor's daughter, so I'm like getting to talk to these people that are like-minded individuals, and I loved it.
It's funny. I don't think I've ever been in a chat room.
Oh,
Like
that's
Yahoo.
right.
He's a
It
baby.
was so before his time.
Yeah, it's so way. No, but that's at the same time. Like on the subject of internet cafes, we do have internet cafes in the UK. We actually have quite a few. Like there's a few. Like I feel like it's more in the areas where people kind of struggle. If you get what I mean, like kind of like kind of where poverty is high or unemployment is high. They have loads of internet cafes in those areas, which I've seen. Um, in general, they have internet cafes actually even in city centers. It helps the unemployed, because like if all the homeless or whoever, is trying to look for jobs, I've seen that there's internet cafes around kind of areas.
If you count like libraries as internet cafes, we still have a ton of internet cafes.
I wouldn't say
Libraries have,
library.
like,
I would say like no, I would like say like genuinely walk in and it smells of dust and the computers are like 10 years old
yeah,
and the
library.
guy's like no, and it's like all computers and it's like yeah 10 like give me £1 an hour type of internet cafes. The libraries are different. Like library has like 3 computers probably.
Oh, not mine.
Like
Mine has like 15. It's like a
no,
whole.
we have like local each
I
kind of
haven't been to our library in probably 15 years, so I have no
The
idea.
internet has really made them kind of obsolete for a lot of people. Like I can download everything to my Kindle. I don't need an internet cafe.
Now, like when I was in college, I went to that library, but like the county library, I haven't been to.
It's funny because in England, a lot of the libraries are local libraries, and so most of them are people go to just for the history because a lot of them are like really old buildings from like they're a few centuries old type of buildings, So when you go to the libraries, you'll be able to find books which are like really old, like at least a good 100, 200 years old. Like I'm talking about very old. So I feel like that's why libraries probably still do really good in the UK because each kind of neighborhood has their own library, and each library has its own story. Like one survived the World War II Blitz bombings, for example. One was there since the 14th century, or whatever it is. It's just kind of stuff like that. I feel like that's the only reason why libraries here are kind of still a thing. I don't go to the library. Fuck that shit.
So, yeah, another interesting thing about Jenny and Sumit, like he was married. He was full married. And like she had no idea. And like that's happened to me. So like it's understandable how she had no idea. But like I can't believe that she stayed. And I'm actually like I'm actually mad at her.
Wasn't it like 5 years into their relationship?
Yeah, like he got married. He got married 2 years into dating Jenny. And then he's like, I've never loved my wife. We want a divorce. We want all this stuff. And then like something, I don't remember if it was I think it was the end of the second season. I was livid. So Sumit's parents don't approve of Jenny, obviously, because she's an older woman. His mother said, if you marry this woman, I'll kill myself. And he literally looked at Jenny and he's like, okay, I can never marry you. And Jenny's like, are you joking? We've been in a relationship for 8 years. You've been leading me on saying you're going to marry me. And now like, and obviously like, of course he doesn't want it, but like also call her bluff. Like, you know what? I doubt you will. Like,
yeah. And that's very manipulative on the mother's part.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not even like that's her only son and her only choice at grandkids. He has a brother. Like, his brother married a nice Indian girl. Lets him like ruin his life in his own way.
Mm-hmm. I love them now, though.
They're my favorite.
They're one of my favorites.
I like them. The couple that I hate is Evelyn and I think his name is Corey. They have they've also been on this for all 3 seasons, and she's
a gold digger.
She's a gold digger, 100%. She's like shits about him like at all.
She's after the green card. That's what she wants.
And the craziest
thing about that, yeah,
she openly says, "I don't want to get married. I don't want to have kids. I don't want to work. I want you to take care of me." And he's like, well, and I won't convert to your religion. And his religion is like half of his personality. So like the fact that she openly
cheated on him.
Yeah, she cheated on him, but he no, they were on a break when he did it to her, I think. But
yeah, but she still keeps like, that's just so fishy.
Yeah, there's something off about her. But like the fact that he just like is with this woman who does not share any of the things that he wants, and he's like, I just love her, and I'm like, like I get it, like
I get that,
like she's hot and she's like whatever, but why would you want to marry somebody who outwardly says, I won't convert to your religion? She also says she never wants to go back to the United States. She doesn't want to see his family ever again. So like rude. You know, I don't want to get married. I don't want to have kids. Give me all of your money. Like, yeah, sign me up.
Yeah, no, honestly, like I feel like that kind of was a kind of weird couple. I feel like maybe because he's Mormon and he got to like meet a girl and he's like, I don't know, kind of excited that he gets to go and venture off this Mormon path kind of thing, you know, because when he's out in Ecuador, he's obviously doing his own thing. He's probably enjoying that life, but at the same time, he's in this relationship where he's following it so blindly. You know, like if it was me, I'd have told that bitch to fuck off a long time ago.
Like, I get it in the beginning where he's giving money, but like in season one, he's like, I've already given her probably about $40,000. And then they have a business together. She's like, I want money to open up a bar. And she opened the bar in her name. He has no claim to this bar whatsoever. And even worse, when they went to visit it, because he hadn't been to it, she left all of like the pots and pans out and like the windows open and like the rain ruined a ton of shit. And she goes, well, I guess she'll just have to give me more money to fix it. Like,
like the fact that when he sent money and thought of how it works, where you could, I'm going to send money and then my name's going to be on the list. It doesn't work like that because you're not a citizen of the country doing it. Like, who the fuck's this guy? You know, she can claim all of it. And then he has legit no proof in that country saying that's his. You know what I mean? The fact that he didn't research that or even know that type of stuff is crazy to me. You know, like
nobody in this show seems
none of the people on this show research anything before they jump into any of this.
The other part of it, like, nobody even bothers to learn the other person's language. Like, and I know that we all use text apps and like, you know, things like that. So it's a little bit easier. But if you're considering marrying somebody and you're going to move to that country, don't you think that you would learn the basics of how to get by in life and then pick up more when you're there? But like the girl who went to South Korea, she knew zero South Korean.
She was so annoying. Like she moved to Korea, and demanded and expected so much, but spoke no Korean.
Yeah,
like, I was like, what the fuck? You know, like especially when you have a kid.
Like, you could tell he was legit trying. It's like never good enough for her.
Especially when you have a kid who's legit half of that. You know, you gotta practice the language.
I don't think he was legit trying because he was like, I work part time, and I make sure to take a nap every day.
I think he was. I think he was just so accustomed to mommy and daddy like coddling him that I genuinely think he was trying. It was just like he's too young and not ready for that.
Yeah,
like not too young in age, but just too immature.
Yeah, like immature. Like that's what I think too. Like he was doing his best, but you're like, listen, dude, like you have now 2 kids and a wife to support. Like, I can't believe that you were working part-time and like didn't even set up your own bank account, and also like didn't send your wife any money to take care of these kids, or do the bare minimum of like, let me make sure that this apartment that she rented is in a safe part of town, which it was not.
Yeah. Which in the end they did though. In the end they had a really nice apartment and whatnot. But like,
Yeah, but didn't like his parents or her parents have to pay for that or something?
I don't think so.
I
think he
don't
paid
know.
for
I
it.
feel like someone helped
I
pay.
think no. I think what he did was he sent the money to his mom, and his mom was holding the money for him. So I think in one episode he asked his mom for the money so they could go move into that place. But I do think that her mom, the woman's mom,
Her
did.
mom was
I think
so
she sent money.
Crazy person.
Yeah.
Her mom is toxic. Like, and like, I kind of get it, but also like, you move to their culture. Like, and she always, like, both of them are like, well, in America, well, guess what, sweetie? You ain't in
Not in
America.
America.
Like,
Exactly. Shit.
like you don't get to go, well, in America, guess what? You're not about to be an American anymore.
Yeah, 100%.
So, did you watch who is that one couple? I love them. They did not work.
Oh, I know
I
who
love
you're
them for the
talking about.
drama, not but as a couple.
Oh, God, I don't
Not the
remember.
South African one. We'll talk about them too, but the one that was it was
Yeah,
the Arab guy and the old
It was
lady.
Yes.
Aladdin and the old lady.
Yeah, Aladdin and I don't remember her
Laura?
name. Huh?
Is it Laura?
Laura, I think so. I don't know.
Maybe
I think so.
Aladdin and his old woman. That one,
Aladdin.
I love the part whenever she shows up and she has her vibrator and he like flips shit.
he lost it. But you know
I love
what?
that part.
That's cultural. He literally was like, no, men just stick their penis in a woman and you get what you get. And she goes, no. But like, apparently sex is extremely taboo. But so is something you are not allowed to hug in an airport in, I think it's Qatar. I want to say
There's been a lot of very
most Arab countries,
Muslim
most
countries.
Arab countries have like that, or like,
Yeah.
like if you go to an Arab country, like even as a tourist, like wearing shorts, they're like, well, what the fuck you doing? You know, like they're very strict.
Yeah, and the thing is like if you're going to a country like that, like don't do that. Like
Well,
there's,
and
I would be totally
can't kiss.
covered if I went to an Arab country.
You can't
They
kiss.
got
You
I
married.
respect their customs.
But if you're
they got
married,
married
if you're
so they
married,
could stay in a hotel together. They were
Yeah,
already
yeah.
married.
Yeah, because you can get arrested. That's why.
Yeah.
If you're not married, and you stay in the same room, they could send the police after you and be like, yeah, they're doing some dodgy shit in there, and you could get arrested. So you have to
Like,
get married.
what a crazy thing. Like, if I went to another country and some dude like 9 days in was like, listen, you're a real hottie and I want to do this, but like we gotta get married, otherwise I can go to jail or be murdered. Like, who's like, yeah, that sounds like a rational, insane thing for me to do. Let me marry this complete stranger that I've known for 9 days in another country.
Ain't no big deal.
And then her son was kind of a shithead.
He was such a
Her
little
son.
asshole.
He was so annoying.
Like,
so fucking annoying.
And I was kind of on his side in the beginning. I was like, you know, I get it. Like, they obviously rushed into this. This is super weird. But then when they were at the wedding and he was like, the reason I don't like this is because my mother can no longer support me because she's supporting
then
you.
it's like, you little selfish brat.
I was like, how dare you? Like, I would get it. Like, I don't think you're a legit person. I think you're taking advantage of my mother. But no, it was, I am the only one who gets to take advantage of my mother.
Yeah, no, he was weird. He gave me some fucking weird vibes. Like,
he did. He gave up a lot of
weird
weird vibes.
fucking weirdo, and like
fuck up and support yourself, you little shit.
Yeah, I know. He was a big shit, so like he was a grown ass
He
man.
was in his like mid-20s or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know how the fuck
you're still living off your mom's money. Like, come on.
Yeah. That couple though, like she was fun, but I think she went in with so many misconceptions about where she was moving to that like I don't know how they can make that work. And then too, I think they were saying like he intends to take on multiple wives. And she's like, this is the first I'm hearing of it. And it's like, well, like,
no, but it's more like
if he can support the multiple wives, that's his custom. Like, what did you think? He was gonna change everything.
Well, and also
I feel like
to move there. Like
I
He
feel like
wants
there's something
kids,
for
and obviously she's not going to have them. So it's like, what'd you think he was going to do? Just pick them up off the street? No.
What?
I think personally, I think it's more that he kind of probably told his family that, so they don't like eat him alive. Because like in our culture, like some sense stuff is like depends what kind of
Well,
family
aren't
you
you
have. Like
expected to have children? I mean,
yeah, you're like
that's like
expected to have
your
children, and you're
yeah.
expected to have a family and
She
keep
can't
a
have
lineage
kids,
going.
so
And so obviously he obviously wants to marry her, but to make his family not go after him and make him a target, he probably said, "Yeah, I'll marry multiple women, if she's gonna be okay with it." And it's probably why they kind of said that. I feel like just because when they're there, obviously when they're there and they say it, then they kind of, oh yeah, she's agreed with it, she's okay with it, shit like that. So that's why I feel like that's why he probably said to her that he wants multiple wives, um, just so
Maybe.
but I
he
mean,
doesn't
if
get in
I was in
trouble.
her shoes, like if I was in that situation, I would be like, okay, because I mean, if you want to have children, you deserve to have the chance to have children. If I
See,
can't
but
do
my
that,
issue with that is like just the communication. Like, if there was going to be a multiple wives situation, if you wanted to have the kids, tell me on day 8. Like, tell me before the wedding.
not day 9.
Like, honestly,
When
like
we're getting
sign the
married.
papers. Oh, by the way, I'm going to take on multiple wives, and also, you can't have babies, so I'm going to like have these other women have babies with. Oh, who else is there? Can we talk about Brittany for a second?
Oh my god,
Oh my god.
Brittany
hate,
from Florida.
I hate her so much.
Nobody is every episode that I've watched, I'm like, okay, this couple is the worst couple. Brittany, hands down, just the worst human being on the planet.
Like, she's sneaking alcohol. She
She doesn't respect him at all. She literally got off the plane and was like,
tell the
he goes,
guy.
I got tequila. And he's like, that's so illegal. And then he left because he was upset because he told her specifically, oh, what was it? She hugged the producer and then she flashed her alcohol, both of which are illegal in his
Yeah.
country. And so he got mad and he went to the car and she's like, oh, he's so ridiculous. I'm an American woman. Like, I can do whatever I want.
In America.
Yeah,
Like,
you're not in
bitch,
America.
what the hell is
Like,
your problem?
They will lock you up. They could behead you. Like, people get beheaded for less things. Like,
It's not even her. No. She would even get that. It would be him who would get all the
Yeah,
punishment.
he's
yeah.
in trouble.
Because I think they'll tell her to fuck off back to your country. They'll tell her fuck off back to your country, and they'll like stop her from ever traveling to a Middle Eastern country. But he'll be the one where not only him, but his whole family will have a big problem because he'll get in trouble, and then his whole family gets shamed, and then their names will be tarnished. And if they have businesses, people will stop going to their businesses and stop buying from them and stop associating themselves with it.
And then
It's
how
like a
she
really big domino effect.
left all those pictures of herself up.
Okay, so that one I kind of get. Like, I get that she didn't want to take him down.
To join his family, and that
I
is
think,
a very bad thing,
yeah.
to them, and it shames the whole family, not just him, not just her, but his parents, his siblings. Like, have some respect.
And that it comes back to, why did you not research anything about this place that you were going to? And like, she's another one. She's not going to convert to his religion. And it's like,
She
you can't
thought about it at one point. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think she was serious. I think she was just saying
like,
it.
oh, I look cute in this.
Yeah.
Type thing. I don't think it was like legit by any means.
I don't think she was ever considering it. And then I think it was so shitty too that like, she's also married. She was married. She was lying to him. And then she did get her like quickie divorce, and she like came back, but she's like, he's pissing me off. So I invited my girlfriend and we're going to go to Jordan, and we're not going to tell him that we're there. And we're just going to live it up and do it Jordan style the way I want to. So then I'm so glad her ass got knocked down pegs when she went into the market with her boobs out in her high heels and like all this stuff. And her friend was wearing, still like more modest clothing. And she even said, she's like, hey, I don't think you should wear that. And then when they're walking through, she goes, oh, I understand now why he doesn't want me to dress like this, and why it's unsafe for me to do this. And then she like was totally trashed and got into his car. Also, like, inappropriate.
Yeah. I hate
And
her.
I
was 100% on his side.
100%. And
Like,
she
even
doesn't
whenever he
even,
was like scolding her and like his attitude was aggressive, I'm like, I wish he'd bitch slap her. I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, she deserves it, and I'm totally against that, but I
and
would.
then
Like, I would not be able to
the part
refrain.
where she was like, I think they're crocodile tears when she met with his brother and she was like, will they actually kill him? Will his family kill him if he marries me? And his brother's like, yes. Like, I don't know how many times we have to tell you, like, his life is in jeopardy with you being here and not being respectful of our culture.
Yeah.
And then she, like, starts having a breakdown of like, well, I'll just leave then. I'll leave. I love him. And I'll leave for him. And you're like, and then the next like clip is her being like, I want to get married. I want to be with you. I'll totally convert. I can't with her.
No.
And another big one is Benny and Ari. They are in.
That was funny.
I hate her eyes.
Yeah, there's something wrong with her face.
Yeah, it creeps me out. We're being such assholes right now. Like,
they're assholes. These people are the worst people, you guys. Like, and I know that that's why they got to be on this show, because the people that like research the culture. Well, actually, I'll get to the couple. There's one couple in this entire show that I'm like, love them. Nothing but the best for them. But yeah, Benny and Ari, she invited her ex-husband and she was like, oh yeah, he's going to be staying with us. And also I asked him to bring me bras. And like her husband was just so emasculated and like horrible.
Yeah, because in that culture, that's just not normal, isn't it? Like, they're just like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Like in those type of cultures, like once you get married, then you move on. That's it. You're married, unless you have kids and stuff with that person. It's the only reason why you contact them. Other than that, you really have zero contact with that person.
I hate whenever she was like freaking out over where they were gonna live.
Yeah.
It's like, he does not make enough for you to have a luxury, nice ass place like you want. Like,
and then even worse is that like her parents pay for everything, further emasculating this man. Like, and it's really sad because like he had a kid with another American woman and who just up and left. Yeah. And she took the kid and she went back to the United States. And then he did it again. So like, shame on him for doing it twice, but it's scary. And then like every time that she sits there and you're like, you can't provide for me the way that I need to be provided for. And it's like, well, yeah, because you're
in where, Ethiopia? Like, what do you expect?
Yeah. They did have some crazy customs though. They did the I don't know what holiday they were celebrating, but they were celebrating a holiday where they took their 1-month-old baby to what essentially was Lollapalooza. Like that type of crowd.
Like,
I know, but like
everyone else had their kids. Like, that's
a 1-month-old baby to like someplace that's like that crowded where like you couldn't be near people and people are like arm checking to get the holy water. I wouldn't take my 1-month-old baby, but she could have stood in the back and still been respectful. And I don't think that she was respectful.
Yeah, no, she was like, I want to experience this and I want to be there for this. And then she's like, oh my God, there's all these people. And it's like, what did you think it was going to be?
Yeah, like he told her. Yeah. He told her what it was going to be. But she's bad. Like the women on this show.
Mad at him over it. And it's like, I mean, you went off to the side and went to what, like his sister's house or somewhere. So like, why are you pissed? You and the baby were safe. He's still got to do his religious thing. Like, why are you throwing a little whiny little
and then she was mad at him too because he was mad at her because he wanted his baby, who is Ethiopian, to be a part of it because it's important for him. And she just, that's the thing, is like, she doesn't compromise. She doesn't know how. He's like, it's so important that this baby be baptized. It's so important that like the baby be circumcised. And she's Jewish. And so the fact that she was having such a meltdown over the circumcision, I was like, I'm pretty sure that's a huge thing in your culture as well.
Yeah, well, I
Like,
think that was the thing. Her parents also wanted the baby circumcised, and
yeah.
she's kind of more of a, more of us people, because I'm against circumcision, who's like, there's really there's no reason to do this anymore. Like,
Yeah.
there's way back when they didn't bathe regularly and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I
Okay.
would argue that, but even then, like, as long as they bathe, like, it should be good.
Yeah.
Like, that's how your body was designed. There's no reason that you should have to cut part of it off. That's so stupid.
That's true.
But she's kind of part of that belief thing that
Yeah.
why should I mutilate my child? Even if it's for a religious thing, I don't want to mutilate my child. So I kind of supported her in that. But you're in Ethiopia, these are their customs. I mean, you should
And
have looked
she
into
ran
that
she
prior.
stopped a procedure. That's
Yeah.
so dangerous. Like, they were literally about to
I would have
operate.
too. I would have too.
I do think his family pressured her. I do feel I
Yeah,
sympathize
absolutely.
with her because she was alone and that family was like, this is how it's being done. This is how it's being done. And it just comes down to like, you have to know these cultures.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like you have to know what you're getting into. You can't
But like,
like
if
go
she
into
wasn't, go ahead, sorry.
I was just saying that like you can't go into a culture and a religion and like expect it to go your way or your beliefs or whatever way. And the thing is like when they first had a kid, like when they obviously when she was pregnant, like I'm sure she kind of had to sit there with herself and kind of understand like, oh shit, like I am having a baby with a person who's from Ethiopia, who I think was Catholic or whatever it was, like he was a religious person, like, oh shit, like is this the right thing to do? Because when the kid's born, it sucks even more for the kid. Even when he's growing up, if she can't make up her mind, the kid's just going to be confused his whole life,
Yeah.
because the parents are Jewish, his grandparents are Jewish, one side are like how Catholic, whatever the religion it was, I forgot, and then the kid's going to not understand what's going on. And then, in fact, like if she then makes the decision to circumcise him later on, it fucking hurts even more,
That's
so it's
my
like,
issue
make
is if
up
he
your
wants it
fucking mind,
later.
that sucks even more. Yeah, like they do it all when you're young, when you're small, because then it's done and dusted, and you never worry about it again. You know what I mean? That's the thing.
It
Um,
traumatizes them. They've done studies on their brain and
I
stuff.
believe it.
It like
they're all
fucks up part of their brain.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, like honestly, like when you're older and you do it, that's when because you understand what's going on, and then like that's a no-go zone, and this, that, and other, and sensitive. But like when you're small, it just happens. It gets done and dusted with. You don't
I
think
think
about it as much.
I think part of it is that like people don't believe babies feel pain. Like because they can't vocalize other than crying. You're like, babies cry all the time. Like they don't feel pain. They're fine. You're like,
No, no,
no. Like
I
even
feel like it's
plants feel pain.
I feel like it's more like the understanding of what's going on. They don't know. They just know they just got hurt. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's it. They don't know that. Oh my, that's my PV zone.
Well, yeah, they
Is
don't
what
know
just got
that, but like
hurt.
it's still
Like they
traumatizing.
strap those babies down, and it's complete torture, and I'm 100%.
I know because I was one of those babies, unfortunately.
Yeah, but you don't remember it. You just have
I
your
don't remember, but that's what I'm
brain
saying. It's
all
my point. You know
jumbled
what I
up
mean? Like
from it. But
you don't know it yet. That's what I'm saying. You don't know it. Like that's what I'm saying. Like when it happens so young, because like I said, I know of family members who like said, "Hey, my son is 8 years old. Let's go send him to the hospital to do that." And they were
yeah,
like,
but at least by then
um,
they can put you to sleep for it.
"Yeah, but
That's
there's still
true.
like
Well, the
but the pain
recovery is
afterward,
where the issue is.
yeah, like it hurts like a bitch. Like it's gonna hurt
Because
a lot.
I've heard of tons of people that pop those stitches.
It may be, but it's not my penis to make that decision
That's
for.
true.
So I wouldn't
Yeah,
want someone to do that to me. I'm not doing it to
it
someone.
definitely like so I definitely would say that like me growing up, like see, I don't really like talk about stuff like this, so never mind.
Okay. Um,
Right.
well, let's talk about the best couple on this show. It is Kenneth and Armando.
Oh my
Like
God, I love them. I am so in love with them. They're the cutest couple in the entire world.
so precious. Like
And he's
and
like
Yeah,
the
no, they're a good
he's the
couple.
only one that was like, I really should have done more to prepare for this. Like I should
I
have
love
learned more
that.
about his culture. I should have learned
Hmm.
more of the language because I don't know anything. And like
Yeah.
he's the only one that even considers that.
Yeah,
And
like
that's the thing,
literally
like
the only person.
But then again, with that couple though, like they didn't. I don't really feel like the move was like obviously him moving to Mexico was a big thing, but then at the same time, like it was. I don't really see it as one of those things where it's like he did such a life-changing thing because
It's extremely life changing.
I would say
United
in a
States
sense,
to Mexico.
Did you not
yeah, but
see
like
his babies crying because he was leaving?
He's
it's a
living in a place
it's a
where it's not okay for him to be gay. They
yeah, I
literally
get that.
moved to a place where they had to petition the courts to approve their marriage.
Yeah, but I mean more like if he felt like he wanted to go home, he could. Do you know what I mean?
You can
Like it's
any of
not
these
like
people can go home.
not. I wouldn't say necessarily though. I feel like when you're in India, like with Jenny, for example, like
Jenny goes home
it's
every 6 months.
not in the recent part. Wasn't she there? She was kind of stuck
Well,
Her
because
she was
visa
stuck
only
there.
lasts
the
6
fourth
months a
whoever
year
it was.
Like that
No,
was a completely separate. So like normally
because of
it's
COVID.
either it's a yeah, she was stuck there because of COVID, but typically if you're on a fiance visa, which is why it's a 90-day fiance, you're only
yeah,
allowed to stay for 3 months and then you have to leave the country. And I'm unclear. Some places I think you have to stay in your home country for 6 months. In Jenny's case, it sounds like she just had to like stay home for like a week and then she could head on back. But she might have
okay,
been on a
no,
I
You
think
can't
Jenny was on
stay
a
more than like
she
90
was
days
on a
at a time.
tourist visa. Like Jenny was
Uh,
on
okay.
Jenny's on a tourist visa, not a fiance visa.
Well,
But
it's
either
like
way,
you can stay 6 months, but you can only stay up to 90 days at a time, I think is what it is.
okay.
You can stay for 90 days,
Okay.
go home, and then come back and make a second trip out of it and stay another 90 days. I believe is how it goes. I've looked into it.
Okay.
Not
Yeah.
because
I
I
see.
plan
Okay.
on
All right, that's understandable.
doing what they've done. I mean, I'm just like in the past.
Yeah, like all of these people are in financial situations where they absolutely could go home whenever they wanted. Like as
Mm,
reference, because they're always flying back and forth like constantly.
I see. Yeah.
And I don't think that that Kenny moving to Mexico is any different than any of these other people. It's more convenient. It's easier
Yeah,
for
I'm
him to
saying
go
more
Because
home.
he
like
can
so I'm
just
saying
drive
like
home.
he could he
Yeah.
could just drive home. I guess that's what I was more heading to, just like more
But
convenient
his
for him in a sense, you know.
I don't think that you can discount their relationship and like their struggle because he fell in love close to home.
I'm not saying that. I'm literally saying that it was convenient in his part. That's it. Like I'm saying, like I said, if
Those
his
daughters
family
in
wanted to see,
Indiana,
yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like his family want to see him, they could drive to come see him. You know, they don't have
they
to
do.
go catch long flights to come see him. You know, like that happened in that episode, didn't they? Didn't they go to like a super nice resort and they came and saw him? Did that not happen? I think I
I
remember
think
correctly.
so.
Went to a super nice resort. His daughters were there. I think they put their daughters as well.
But
So
I
like
mean,
he got to see his family.
Jenny's daughters flew out like the day after she made that phone call from the internet cafe. Like they
Yeah,
came
but
out
like
right away.
if that's what I'm saying. Like but it's not as convenient for them though. You know,
We
like
don't know
traveling
that.
16 hours isn't as convenient as traveling on a plane less
Well,
hours. You know.
I don't know. I don't agree with that. I think that they're comparable.
I feel like their struggle is tougher than all the rest of them
I
because
think
it's
so
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
a
of
gay
course, of
relationship.
course. I guess, like I said, I'm
It's
just saying.
already a
I
struggle
guess
no
I talk
matter
about
where you're at in the
convenience, and
world.
that's
It's a struggle. So
Yeah, the fact that like it's legal for gay marriage to happen and they went to the office because they're like it's legal for us to get married in this like part of the country. So they went there and the girl was so sweet. She was like, "Listen, before I even like process and put this in the computer, I'm going to tell you right now, we can't approve it. But here are the steps that you need to take and I am on your side and I'm going to make these phone calls and I'm going to get it because you can't get married, but I personally, right now in front of you, cannot give you the license like I would be able to if one of you was a woman."
yeah,
And I thought that was absolutely
yeah,
insane. I was like, it's legal and they still have to petition. But Armando's daughter, oh my God, she is the most precious thing I've ever seen in my life.
I know.
She
yeah.
loves
She
Kenny
really
so
wants to be
much.
sweet.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And he seems like he's probably like just with how much his own kids love him, like
Yeah.
he's like the perfect dad. Like he's
Yeah.
yeah, no,
the
yeah.
And
It
best
he had
wasn't
dad.
three
even
and he had three girls that he raised and they all seem to be doing very well. So like
Yeah. And his little
so,
grandson.
wasn't something like wasn't he like super young and wanted a kid and like was it surrogate or something that he
yeah.
had a baby with or something? I don't know how it
All
worked.
of his babies are surrogates.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they all looked like sibling, like you could tell that. Was it? I don't know. Was it the same surrogate? Because in the
Yes,
videos,
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a friend, and the friend agreed to, I think, be a surrogate and have the egg. But what I liked too was when they asked, they were like, "Well, did you do IVF?" He goes, "Ew, of course we did IVF."
what's that?
In vitro fertilization. That's where they don't actually have sex to have the child. They take his sperm and fertilize the egg, and then put the egg inside the surrogate.
It is an extremely expensive procedure, and like it's very costly and not very efficient and effective. So like you go through all of this process, and like you pay tens of thousands of dollars, and you might not get a baby. And like he ended up lucking out and he had one, and then he had triplets. So
That's insane, yeah.
but yeah, like it not easy.
Like I would be like, let's just save the $100,000 and just take one for the team. Like,
well, I had a friend that like we did the same thing. Like we are best friends, like we love each other. It's whatever. The thought of physically being together makes us both want to vomit. But neither of us had money. So at the time when we were both like, maybe we should have a kid, we were like, turkey baster? Yeah, turkey baster.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need any of that fancy science crap. Give us the $2.99 baster, and I'll just like be sitting outside your room ready. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so who else do we have? Tiffany and what's that guy's name?
oh, what is that? Let me look it up. I don't remember it.
Wasn't it
But
like
he was
Rory?
Ronald.
Yes,
Ronald.
Ronald.
That's what it was.
he was a trip, and she's a nightmare.
She definitely is a nightmare. I feel like even though he kind of tried to get away from his like gambling addiction, I feel like she still was giving him a hard time.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like she absolutely.
I feel like sucks. Yeah.
I hate that he used religion to combat it, because that just means he's going to slide back into it again. As soon as he's not going to church or not studying the Bible, then he's going to be an addict again, because that's what they all do. I guess not all of them, but like 95% probably. It's my own statistic.
Their story was so sad because she has like an 8-year-old kid who she's been a single mother to like forever. She had one of them, didn't know I was pregnant moments. And then she got pregnant by Ronald when they were like, together. So she's keeping the baby. Her son did not want to be in South Africa. And he said it multiple times. He goes, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. And like, Ronald was actually kind of mean and like guilt tripping him. And like, he goes, no, you have to. It's the only way we can see each other. I'm like, he's 8.
Yeah.
You're an adult. Stop it.
He was so like, my boy, I love you. It was almost too much. Like, I don't by any means think it's like a creepy situation.
Yeah.
It was just like, why are you so, like, you've never even met this kid at this point when they first met. Like,
yeah,
calm it down a little bit. This is
they're like, tone it back. I did like though that when they visited that he made him a room. Like he turned his garage into a room. I was like, that was a really sweet gesture. But also, as evidenced by when you guys were house hunting, it's not a safe place for children. And what I hated this the most. It made me so, as somebody who's like in the home buying process, the fact that these two, neither one of them, she doesn't live in that country. He didn't have a job and he just got out of rehab. And they went to a real estate agent and they were like, hey, we're looking for an apartment. We have $0. What can you show us that we can get into today? And she goes, oh, we have so many options. Let me take you. No, get out of my office.
Yeah.
And they did. They went to like places and like, yes, they were like not safe, but they still had options when like, who can walk into some place and go, I'm unemployed, give me a house.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of strange. And plus South Africa in general was dangerous. Like I feel like her moving to South Africa, I feel like she kind of should have been prepared financially, knowing that she's going to move somewhere,
and taking
like South Africa, and taking a child, because as fucked up as it sounds, South Africa isn't a safe place. Like it just isn't. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. If you're not rich, you're fucked basically.
Yeah, like if you don't live in Cape Town, like
Yeah, if you don't live in the rich areas, then it sucks for you because that's just how it is over there. And that's a lot of the world is like that actually. Like if you're not financially stable, then you're gonna be in a rough area. And unfortunately, their rough areas are very different from the West. Like you go
yeah.
there, and the kids are gonna beat up your son. Like that's just how they do things over there. It's just it is what it is. It was like that growing up in the Netherlands, like if you didn't live in like the nice areas, you were gonna go and end up with the boys they were rough. And I feel like South Africa is just a place like that. And
They were
I
like,
feel like
it has an electrified fence, and also don't let your child outside. And you're like,
yeah, like it's insane.
what? You're like, so he just plays inside?
Well, and my thing is she's, when she was talking to the immigration or whatever to see about him coming to the United States because it's safer, she's like, well, he's got a criminal record, like he stole from his mom, he's got addiction issues. And it's like, those aren't
Yeah.
red flags for you.
Yeah, that was crazy. And I get it. You have a baby together, but like, and he didn't even tell her.
They didn't at that point.
Oh, you're right. They got pregnant after they got married. That's right. That's right. Yeah, and he didn't tell her right away either. Like,
That's insane, yeah.
and he slipped up after they were together, and she kind of like covered for him, and like she didn't tell anyone in her family that like he had all of these issues. And it was just like, if you can't be open and honest with your family about like the guy that you're about to marry and spend your life with in another country where they're not going to see you, why are you going?
Yeah.
Like if I couldn't,
why are you going and taking your child?
Yeah. Like if I was moving there and I couldn't be like, Lindsey, this is the guy, like this is his like past, like you don't see that as a red flag if you can't tell your best friend like
your child in that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I think CPS should have been called. That was irresponsible parenting.
Right.
100%.
I think is that all the couples, all the ones that matter. There might have been a couple others in there.
Oh, there was that one girl. Is she in Colombia or somewhere? And it was the guy who's like the psychotic person.
Oh fuck
The one who's like goes postal and loses his shit, and then didn't have his suitcases, couldn't take all the suitcases.
Yes,
they freaked the fuck out over there.
How did I forget about him?
That dude's a psycho.
They were already married when they applied to be on this show, and they were going to get divorced. That's what it was. They were going to get divorced, and then she found out she was pregnant. And he goes, "Well, I guess I have to stay." And you're like, "You don't." And after seeing them together,
hurry and the baby a favor and just leave.
Yeah, like he's so aggressive and angry, and he also has a criminal past. Where like when I found out that he had a criminal past, I was like, all of this makes
stalking and stuff.
Yeah,
like oh, that's not a surprise.
It was like stalking and like terrorizing an individual and like
threatening or something.
Yeah,
it was like, how the hell did he even get a visa? Like, how is he even able to leave the country?
Yeah, he
wouldn't have been able to come to the country if he had that background.
Yeah, well, that's why, because they don't care as much.
Like, get him out of here.
Yeah, they're like, please take him. We'll wipe his record. Yeah, he freaked out so much when he couldn't take his bags because he didn't check the airline, and that was insane too because like he had the 5 bags. And I get it's inconvenient when like you have to go down to 2, but he literally looked for no solutions. He was like, well, I guess I'm just canceling my ticket and losing all this money. It's like, pick your 2 suitcases. How close to your flight did you go? Yeah, I was like, how close to your flight did you go to the airport? Do you have like 3 minutes to get on that plane? Because nobody goes to the airport. You should
probably prepare better.
Yeah, like everybody knows you get to the airport at least 2 hours before your flight. So like if you got there and there was an issue such as this, you're fine. But he called me, he's like, oh, it's going to cost me more to cancel my flight. You won't switch it for free. Well, I'm just not going then. It's like, that doesn't.
They don't give a fuck. They're like,
yeah, like great. Now you're not going to be an asshole on this plane.
Yeah.
And then when he found out that he like might not get his visa, and he had like another epic meltdown, and then he
You know what's
wouldn't even
crazy though?
consider like living
You know,
there.
you know what's crazy though? Like if a country like Colombia is rejecting you for your criminal past,
That really said
there definitely is
something.
a fucking issue there. Yeah, like if they're saying this guy is too dangerous to be on our streets of Colombia,
Yeah,
like
and then
this
he
guy must
goes and
be
he's
fucking
like,
crazy.
I've got all this gear on because
Yeah, he bought a
I'm
bulletproof
scared.
baby carrier
Like, bro,
and a bulletproof diaper bag. And
Exactly. You know? So
like
like,
she looked at him and she's like, I'm not wearing that. Like, and he's like, we need it. We have to be protected. And she's like,
yeah.
they're not after us. Maybe you because you're a psycho, but
he has no self-awareness, because after his like meltdown with his flight where he finally did get on it, he showed up unannounced to his pregnant wife's home in the middle of the night with no calling, and just walked in the door, and then was mad at her for being like freaked out.
right? Like, you're
and
like
then
you
she
get
did get
shot, bro.
robbed,
Yeah, like
and
she
then she
should
get
have shot him.
Yeah, I wish
and
Like,
then
I'm gonna say
Di-
that, but
Didn't she also get robbed? Like one part, like they get into a big fight and he like storms off. And as he storms off, some thief comes up and takes a phone from her and runs away. And they
I
kind of
don't
film it.
remember. Maybe.
There is a part in this part of the show, like they get into a fight or whatever, and she's like pissed off and she storms off. And now she does that, a thief that comes and like takes a phone from her and then runs away. You know, like they
I don't
film the
remember that part.
whole like, yeah, no, I say I don't know, maybe it was just a clip I saw afterwards. I don't fucking remember, but I think it was the show. I'm not sure. I'll try to find it and send it to you guys if you haven't seen it. But yeah, then then she came to America, and then like he moved. He tried to find a place for them to live, and it was like a trailer park, and like he was sending them to all sorts like really crappy places, and she was
I
like, "Look, I'd
love,
rather be in the
yeah,
slums of
like
Oh, there's
Colombia
there's one more couple
than."
too.
it was funny too with them, because like he was criticizing all the places that she found, and she's like, these are perfectly acceptable houses, and then like he's like, we
They're
can live in
better.
this garbage hole back in my hometown. It's like,
Yeah,
this
like
is
the
not
places in
better.
Colombia. Yeah, the places in Colombia were way better than the ones in America. Like there was like fucking like trailer parks, and they don't even have fridges and doors. And he's like, "Yeah, this is perfect." You know, she's like, "No, what the fuck?" You know.
Wait, who's the last couple? Who are we missing?
The guy from Texas and that one girl, and he had cheated on her when she was still, or when
Oh
she
yeah,
first
There's
left.
also, I'm trying to think who that is. Now I'm thinking of the guy from Utah that's trying to marry the Russian girl.
no,
I
I
think
know
they're
what
new
you
this
mean.
season.
I know what you're talking about. That one is like
I haven't seen
it's
that.
like they met in university or something. Like
Yeah.
They met on a English language like chat room. Like he wanted to learn Russian and she wanted to learn English, and
Not
they fell
that.
in
The
love.
one I was talking about.
Oh, the Texas one?
Yeah.
Isn't that Anfisa? The one you're talking about, Megan? There's another
I'm
couple,
talking about
Anfisa and
the
George.
Mormon and
That's a
the
good one.
Russian girl.
I don't know that one now.
They're new.
Yeah, I haven't.
Yeah, no,
I
I'm
don't
not.
think we haven't
They're
watched
on season
season 3. I
3.
don't think.
A good one, a good couple is Anfisa and George. Like George is like this weed dealer, and like Anfisa was like this model he met, and like she moves over there. All she wants is like Louis Vuitton and Gucci. Now she wants all this expensive stuff, and he's like bitch, I don't have this money for you. And she's like, oh, I'm gonna, like starts a big fight with him. And in fact, he end up getting arrested. Like he ended up getting arrested on the show, and like he actually went to prison for like,
Really?
yeah, like he got in trouble
Oh,
for
I
because
don't
he was a
remember that.
weed dealer.
I don't
Like
either.
he was like a legal weed dealer, but they didn't move over there. He moved over here. That's why you guys didn't see that.
Oh, see, that's
90 Day
that's not the
Fiancé.
other way. That's a regular 90
Yeah,
Day Fiance.
Yeah.
but the one Lindsay was talking about was that they were college sweethearts, and then she went back to
I do
Mexico
remember
or
them.
wherever
Okay.
it was, and then he cheated on her, and then they got back
He really
together.
loves her though. Like you can tell he genuinely absolutely adores her. And he
Yeah,
really tries. But then she
well,
ended up
because
having cheated on him too. And it's like you've been holding this over his head this whole time, and then you had cheated also. Like what the fuck?
The other thing that I love is when he showed up to the airport, and then in her cutaway, she goes, I'm glad somebody else said that he gained weight, because he definitely did. And I didn't want to say something. I was like, girl, mean. Like, it's true, but my God, like, do you love him or not? Because like he didn't gain like that much weight, and she was like,
Even still,
gained a lot of weight, and you're
like looks and weight fade, they fluctuate. You've got to love someone beyond what you see, like
exactly
or
like
it's
she's
not going to work.
yeah, you're both not going to look like that forever. You have to find somebody that like you actually genuinely like.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were. And then, yeah, she was an absolute hypocrite because she literally sat there and she was like, I can't get past him cheating on me. Well, I also cheat on him, but that's fine. I don't know why he's throwing such a fit about it.
Right? Like,
Yeah, and then on top of that, she had like a whole family against him, and that his dad was like,
Oh,
because his
that's
dad,
right.
like his family knew him, like his dad
She
knew
was
him, and
forcing
his mom
him
knew
to
him.
move to her because he cheated. So she's
Yeah.
like, because you cheated on me, I can't be away from my family. So you have to move here and give up your entire life.
and then make sure that I tell my whole family everything that you've done to betray me so that they hate you.
Yeah, and now you have to work extra hard to win them over.
Yeah, I felt bad for him.
But they're all in love and they're just blinded by this love, and it just makes me more cynical because I'm like, don't ever be blinded by love. If it seems right, it's wrong.
Like in their situation, you know, where he did cheat, don't get me wrong, he should not have cheated, but you can tell he genuinely loves her and he has genuine remorse, and that goes a long way in my eyes. Like if someone truly loves you and they truly, you can tell that they're very sorry for what they've done, like instead of someone like, well, I mean, you weren't here, you know.
Somebody on the show did
"Fuck
say
you,
that. One of those people did say that. They were like, well, if you're not here, oh, who was it? I don't even know who it was, but he literally was like, well, who am I going to have sex with if you're not here? I have to have sex with somebody. It's like,
Oh, you don't.
no, you do not. Like, do you love this person or not?
You got a
Oh my
hand?
God.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Who was that? Who was it? Like there was some weird couples. Like you know
There's
what?
so many.
There's one couple. Like if you guys watched the other one, the 90 Days.
No.
Michael and Angela. You guys, after you must have seen like clips. That bitch was so fucking crazy. My fucking god! Like she went to move to Nigeria. I know she wanted him to move over to America, but a lot of the show
Oh,
was
I know who
filmed
you're
in
talking
Nigeria.
about.
Yeah, like that old lady, and she's like married a Nigerian guy. She was like straight up like
Oh,
I
was it
watched.
the pizza shop woman?
I don't. I've watched a lot of their clips on YouTube.
I watched
like,
it on Discovery Plus on the Journey
for,
section.
for me, it popped up on like YouTube, and I'd watch the clips, and like so many times she'd like make fun of him and talk shit, and like when they had a tell-all, she's like, you know what, fuck you,
She is
Michael.
the
Like
most
she
toxic
had like
person that has ever existed. He like kisses her ass and tries to keep her happy, and
yeah, and then she's like shoots him like
Angela
shit, and
and
then
Michael.
yeah, Angela and Michael, like
Okay.
that couple,
Yeah.
fucking thing. Like if you watch those,
I
that's
do.
like you could talk so much shit about those people.
I do feel like he really is in love with her strictly for his visa to get to the United States. But I think that he genuinely loves her for her being willing to pay his way and do all of this to get him over there. You know what I mean? Like that type of thing. Like, I really love you for doing this for me. You know, that type of thing. But I do think that that was his 100% his motive, is just because he wants to come to the United States.
The thing that you said
She
about
is so toxic. Like,
a lot of the show was filmed in Nigeria actually. So I began to feel like there was a point like I don't think he was gonna move over there to America because they kept fighting and nonstop, and I feel like his family probably was just like, yeah, just
it is
stay
a
in
very
Nigeria.
bipolar relationship.
They must have made a lot of money though, because like she like went and she got like liposuction and all sorts of things done to her body, and like in the tell-all she
Botox
was
on her
like,
face, because she's
yeah,
like
yeah, like
significantly older than him. It's another one of those.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
like
She had like a boob job done and everything,
27 or
and then
something. I don't remember.
yeah, he's young, and then it's like she done all this modification to her body, right? And then the tell, you know, when they like talk, they kind of like expose secrets and no, we didn't know about and shit. And like Michael's like genuinely trying to talk to her and be nice to her, and then she's like, you know what, fuck you, Michael. And like then her auntie, then Michael's auntie's on like the TV screen. She's like, yeah, fuck you too. She's like swearing at his auntie and
It's
swearing,
crazy.
and
You
then
gotta
he's
watch
so
that
he's
one.
like so nice.
I
And then she's like,
do.
goes to the camera, she starts like flashing her tits at the camera and shit.
I know. I saw part of like the tell-all where they were doing something. I was like, oh, I can't wait
That's
to get to
crazy.
her. But so like I took the week off. I was on vacation and I watched like the new season, and then I was like, you know what? I want to start watching this. I watched 2 seasons of 90 Day Fiance in 1 week. And those are not short episodes. Season 2, the whole back half, or like at least the back like quarter, is 90-minute episodes. And I watched 2 seasons, 22 episodes a season, 45+ minute episodes in 1 week. And my brain was so rotted out that like when I finished, I was like, should I start 90 Day Fiance, the regular version, which is 8 seasons, or should I like watch something of substance? Like,
Well, I have really enjoyed watching the Discovery Plus, the 90 Day Journey episodes, because
Yeah.
it's just like each couple's sections of every episode just put together, so that you're not going back and forth from all the different ones. It's just, each one. And so whenever it's recapping, I just skip past the recap portion, and then I'm just like watching just their journey.
Looks like you've been watching that one.
I've just watched a few of them.
My living room TV doesn't give me the photo clips when I'm trying to skip ahead. So I have to guess off the time, and it's just too much back and forth of me trying to like assume what I'm supposed to be watching. And I was like, well, just watch it regular.
On my phone when I'm doing it, it lets me skip like 30 seconds at a time. I'm just
mine's only 10.
until it gets through the recap.
Yeah. Yeah, 90 Day Fiance is a journey.
There's one couple that I love on the journey one. They should just stand out.
You're working on your evil supervillain mustache?
Yeah.
You know they have mustache competitions?
Yeah, I've seen those. I was gonna say.
Avery and Omar. I love them. Like, she converts to being Muslim and then meets him on a Muslim dating app.
Oh, that's cute.
But she thought he was like in America, but then he wasn't. But she goes and meets him in, I think, Lebanon when they first meet. And her mom, is not apparently, she was like a normal teenager, who wears like her crop tops and did gymnastics and all that. And then she's like completely converting. She like will not show her hair. She will, like she's
good for her.
Into this. And they're like, oh my God, it's just a phase, and she's like, no, this is what I've chosen. And she's ready to move.
I hate that just a phase mentality. Like, even if it is just a phase, let people enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. But she's like ready to move to Syria, and her mom's like, oh my God, no, it's freaking out because she doesn't want her to live there. And he even was like, it's pretty dangerous here right now. Let's try to find a regional country close to here until I can get, approved to move to the United States.
Yeah.
I love them though. They're genuinely in love. You can tell. I mean,
I love that because I feel like none of the special cameo for my garbage cat. Biggie, say hi.
But no, like her mom is all surprised and shocked whenever they go to the temple to get married, and
the temple.
Like it's literally between him and the holy guy. I don't know what they're called in Islam, but it's literally between them because she doesn't speak Arabic. And so the mom's like, what, you're not even part of your own marriage ceremony? Like, what the hell? It's like, she's like, be quiet. We got to be respectful. Like, she's the only one who fully knows what is expected of her. She's totally fine with it. It's like, that's how you should be if you're planning to enter that sort of culture. Like, that's how you should be.
You should try to learn the language, know the cultural norms, talk to your spouse and fiance, and know what is expected of you.
Yeah, like she wasn't upset over anything culturally. Her mom was, and she was like so embarrassed for her mom for being disrespectful and stuff. And she's like, oh my God.
Those moms are the worst ones on this. And like, I get it, they just want to protect their like kids, but they're so rude and abrasive in a culture that is not theirs.
Yeah. That's a good one too. So thanks for watching. If you've watched 90 Day Fiance The Other Way, Let us know in the comments. Be sure to subscribe. Hit the bell for more. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy.
All right,
I
is
hate
everybody
to-
ready?
Yeah, I think so.
We finished this bite, even though I'll be eating the whole time.
I was gonna say, like,
Jeez, my head is so messy. Fucking hell.
I wish I had natural curls like that.
me too.
So
It's
jealous.
it's not even nice. I'm like, I think I look absolutely messy.
Boring straight hair.
Right.
Trust me, this isn't something you guys want.
Oh, I'm sure that's a nightmare, but it looks so pretty.
It looks cool. Like even just when you do that, like out to the front, it looks really good.
Look, no, trust me, it's a headache.
Do it. Ah, yes.
There
now,
we go.
Now leave it alone. Just kind of go.
The money shot.
It's ridiculous. Let me just put my hair away.
Put
All
my
right.
hair away.